42 knees in one day. Israeli snipers brag about deliberately crippling Gaza protesters.
Here's a summary of the article.
Discharged members of the Israeli Defense Forces, who served as snipers on the border with the Gaza Strip, have revealed shocking details related to their postings. One of the 6 snipers interviewed, identified by the name Eden, discussed his time in the Golani Infantry Brigade with Israeli newspaper Haaretz, and claims to remember exactly how many knees he's hit. "You have to understand that before we showed up, knees were the hardest thing to rack up. There was a story about one sniper who had 11 knees all told, and people thought no one could outdo him. And then I brought in 7-8 knees in one day." Eden's interview sheds light on the experience of Israeli snipers on the border. "In the end, you want to leave with the feeling that you did something, that you weren't a sniper during exercises only. So, after I had a few hits, I suggested to him that we switch. He got around 28 knees there, I'd say," he added. The snipers told Haaretz the ideal position to hit a Palestinian, which is the kneecap. Israeli snipers have targeted people identifiable as children, health workers and journalists.
This post received a score of 36,911, with an upvote ratio of 85%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What a piece of shit.
Careful or you will be branded anti-Semite.
People who conflate Zionism with Judaism are the worst. You even see Jews getting called anti-Semitic for criticizing Israel.
Less than thanks all, I got more answers than I'll ever be able to read. Feel free to upvote your favorites greater than genuinely want to know what the Israeli perspective is on this. What kind of justification do you give for kneecapping these folks? Is it just retaliating violence for violence? If so, then why not take the high road and use tear gas to disperse the protesters? I guess I just don't understand why someone would ever do this. Less than edited to expound greater than.
This land is mine.
I've never seen this. Thank you for sharing the link.
It's depressingly accurate.
I genuinely wonder how exactly do these people see themselves, because they sound and look like villains from a movie or something.
When you are fed lies that dehumanize the others, it's easy to commit atrocities.
Likud Party literally subscribes to belief that Jewish souls are inherently worth more than any other. A sort of master race, if you will.
Does this ever sound familiar? About 80 years ago there was a group with this same line of thinking.
Yeah, the Jewish far-right's line on the Holocaust isn't "never again," but "we're deciding who gets gassed next time."
Netanyahu has said that Hitler didn't want to kill all Jews, he was convinced to do so by Arabs.
Wow, I thought you were exaggerating, but I googled it.
That is horrifying.
Greater than that is horrifying. Good way to explain the history of the Middle East and much of the world.
Good way to explain the U.S. foreign policy for the last 70 years.
As foreign policy for the last 70 years? Way longer than that. Just look at what the U.S. did in the Caribbean basin in the early 1900s.
I got it when it was free, I'm so hyped on it, I'll buy it again forever. Can't not post this when I see talk of the U.S. in the Caribbean during Teddy's time.
Should have said, I inspired and helped justify terrorist actions from the friends and family of 42 people today.
I'm Jewish, I hate Israel's policies. Why are you anti-Semitic?
Worst part is I can never be certain if this is sarcasm.
Gonna go out on a limb here and say that's a big ol' S.
I'm gonna agree this is S, but as a Jew you'll be surprised how many times people say this, but seriously.
Fuck. That's sad. I remember as a kid immediately following 9/11 if you even had a critical thought about U.S. involvement in Iraq, Afghanistan you were immediately branded as an unpatriotic, vile, traitorous scum even though those same accusers couldn't even find Iraq on a map let alone see through Bush and the boys. Bullshit. The most patriotic thing you can do IMO is protest something you feel is unjust, even if that means being critical of your country or leader. Say what you want about the French, but they're like the goat at not being down with what their gov is doing and being pretty damn vocal about it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.